and welcome to the Big Scuba podcast. This is episode 189. My name is Ian and with me is...
Hello, my name's Gemma and thank you. Welcome to the Big Scuba podcast.
Did you get in a muddle there?
Yeah.
Before we get on too far, let's just tell you that these episodes are brought to you by our lovely friends at Narked at 90. They are beyond technical.
They are, and you can look them up at their website, www.narkedat90.com.
Okay, so coming up on this episode, we talk to and catch up with Ben Bengi, his sister Gemma Bengi, and skipper
Sam Davison.
There we go.
Yeah, so they are crew from Lundy Diving. It's a family-run business down in Ilfracombe in North Devon. Yeah,
regulars on the podcast, and they've been on several times over the last couple of years, and we first met them, a couple of years ago?
Yes, yeah, we took a 2-day trip out to Swanage, not Swanage, to Lundy.
Lundy Island. If you want to know where Lundy is, for those who don't know, so Lundy is located on the west side of the UK. If you look south of Ireland and south of Wales, there's a big sort of rock, and it's sort of an island located out into the Atlantic and
it's the Atlantic Ocean, Bristol Channel area.
Channel,
yeah. So it's a very unique island. It's in a marine conservation no-take zone, so it's very much very back to nature, and it has a great seal population.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go there to dive specifically because of the seals, who are particularly friendly.
Yeah. So we're talking to those, and we'll have a chat a bit more about going to Lundy before we speak to Ben and Gemma and Sammy. We'll have a little chat about what we've been up to, but there's obviously there's some other things going on at the moment as well this weekend. It's quite a busy week in the diving world. We've got dive talks going on in Portugal.
Yep,
and if you want to know more about dive talks, go to divetalks.com. And also got the BZAC conference this weekend as well.
Yes, that was happening at Birmingham.
So we'll talk a bit about that, and we'll talk about what else has been going on in our part of the world.
Yes.
And what we've been up to. I've been in the water, and what have you been up to?
I did another leg of the Norfolk Coastal Path last Sunday.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, that was probably the hardest yet. So physically challenging.
So what does that actually mean for
the Norfolk Coastal Path runs from Hunstanton to Hopton around the Norfolk coast, basically, right. And it is a national trail. So I think Prince Charles opened it a while ago. And
King.
That's
good enough for the King.
So it's just a bit of a challenge I've set myself to complete that. So I'm over 50% of the way now.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and I am going to continue it around the Suffolk coast as well.
Yeah.
So, it's a good physical challenge. Lots of shingle bank walking this last leg.
Not easy walking.
Not easy walking at all. And got to see 2 wrecks because it was low tide. So the Vera at Clay next to sea, and also could see the tip of the Rosalie at Weybourne.
So the question is the diving finished for this year
on
our far coast?
Well, just looking at the sea this morning, I was out on the beach and it is a very sandy colour.
Yeah. And so we're part of the Facebook group called Angling Divers. If you are holidaying next year up North Norfolk, because our window generally goes from through the summer, so June through till October, November. If you're lucky, and depending how hardy you are, you maybe want to push it, I guess. I don't know.
Just depends on the weather, the winds, and and then it's the visibility. We have very sandy, fine sand around the North Norfolk coast, so it just needs a little bit of wind, and it rocks up. Yeah.
If you're not part of that group, maybe something you want to have a look at with Angling Divers, and join the group, and then that way you'll keep up to date with what kind of goes on. Because people do post in there quite regularly about viz reports and things like that.
Yes, yeah, and there are there's another group of divers. They go off from sea pooling generally, don't they? Out
Yeah.
on ribs. They go a bit further out, so they need obviously a rib to get out to the
Bezaggers.
yes to
Yeah.
the sandbanks. And obviously we have a lot of wrecks around our coastline.
Yeah, we do.
And because of the ever-changing winds, a lot gets uncovered from season to season or recovered. So
Well, some of them you can even walk to. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so
We've got like
on
Scoby
low
sands,
tides,
haven't we?
things like that. But as always, if you're doing any exploring on the coast, you always got to be aware of weather, daylight hours, have means communication,
Tides.
and tides.
Yes, particularly slack, and most importantly, let somebody know you're going. It's always a good idea to call the Coast Guards and let them know how many divers are in the group, and give them a call when you get back as well.
Yeah, it is, and especially on some of our coastlines where the water can actually come behind you at a rate of knots.
Well, even again on our coastline, where I was a few weeks ago at Holcombe, it is very, very quick incoming tide because it is so flat.
Yeah. Good to explore though. Good to do, and all keeps you health and fit and well-being and out in the open.
Exactly, and dive fitness is very important. And
It
yes,
is.
we all do our running and our crossfitting and swimming just to keep our body moving.
Although I've got a dodgy knee at the minute, so there we go. War wound. War wound. Talking about medical stuff. So I've just completed my biannually EFR course, my emergency first responder.
And that's something that you have to do because you're a dive master.
I am a dive master. Yes, I am a dive master for the last few years. I enjoy it. It's good. It's nice. It's a good role. There's a few of us. Yeah. In the Crystal Seas band of long-term dive masters, and we
bringing
enjoy
up
the
that
role.
rear as
We
usual.
bring up the
Yes.
rear. We certainly do. But yeah, just completed my EFR course with Trudy. Hello, Trudy, and Steve Lyons, who was there assisting. That was really good with little Annie, little Anne, and yesterday after our CrossFit course, we had a quick training course delivered by Safe Steps UK. Now, a couple of them are already use the CrossFit gym, Coastal Fitness, I should say, at Great Yarmouth, and but they are also full-time practitioners, I think is the word, at James Paget.
Yeah, they're medical professionals,
They
definitely.
are,
Yeah.
And they deliver a course on CPR.
Just CPR.
Basically, just CPR and what to do when you find somebody who requires CPR, basic steps, delivered within, 40 minutes. And it was really good, really professional, clear, really easy for us all to understand. Although I've done the EFR course, some of the people there had done no previous CPR training.
And it is
at
a
all.
very important skill. It's something
Life-saving.
it is life-saving, and something that
Is there
anybody.
anything more important?
No.
You know, and teaches how to use the defibrillator, what to do, and it's a really good course. So look them up, Safe Steps UK.
I think they go into
And
businesses as
they
well.
do,
So
yeah.
if you are a business and want to extend that out to your staff, that's a perfect opportunity. And it's not long, is it? It's not a whole day that
No.
you've got to.
Yeah. I believe Trudy does as well. To be fair to Trudy, I think that's something else they do. But the Paddy does slightly different course,
It's a bit more involved, isn't it?
more involved,
yeah.
and they teach a slightly different way of resuscitation.
Resuscitation.
Get
But
my words right.
over the years that has changed as well, because I remember doing St John's Ambulance, and even at school things and technology and methods change, and I think it's always evolving, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So that was really good, and I know everyone else on the yesterday's quick course really enjoyed it as well.
It's
And,
encouraging, isn't it?
So I'd
And
say thanks to Gil and Flavia and the rest of the team who delivered that. Really, that's good.
No, it's good, and it
Oh,
gives.
they had these really whizzy. Sorry, they had these really whizzy. you've got the standard little Annie for anyone who's done CPR training.
That's kind of like the top of the torso, isn't it?
Yeah, where you sort of you do it on the
chest.
sovereign.
Okay.
You seen that advert?
No.
Yeah, where Vinnie Jones and he gets a guy and they demonstrate CPR. Vinnie Jones doing his hard man act. Says you've got to do it on the sovereign, and he
like
does,
Medallion Man.
Yes, that's it. And to the beats of Staying Alive.
Yeah.
You know Staying Alive?
I do, Bee Gees.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And that's a good advert anyway, even though there's true meaning behind it. And so that was really good, and yeah, cool.
You were saying about a Whizzy thing. You got sidetracked.
Oh, the Whizzy thing. Yeah, so I was on Staying Alive. So the Whizzy thing. So they got this. I've not seen one of these before. So you got the standard little Annie thing we used the other week, but they got another one which is electronic, and that shows blood pumping.
Oh, that's
so
good.
when you do the CPR, you've got to see it go into the head, because obviously when you're trying to do CPR, you need that blood to go into the brain, don't you?
That's really good, isn't it? Yeah.
And if you're not doing it right, you won't see the blood move up into the red lights go into the.
That's very good.
It's not real blood. It's demonstrating you're pumping it right.
And it is quite a physical thing, doing the pumping on a chest. It is not any mean feat, is it?
No, no. Yeah. You're gonna want help, and should that. Unfortunately, should you ever have this situation, then if there's someone around, you're going to want
share the load.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Very good to do something like that. And
it's probably a good time to also say to people, if you're new, because we do have a lot of new divers who listen to us and following us, and one of the things I always recommend is the PADI or BZAC, don't matter the agency, but most agencies run some form of a rescue course.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've done it?
Yeah, and loved it. It was the best course I've done so far.
It is the best course, because you do learn a lot of skills, and they're not just for divers. What happens if you're walking along and somebody falls in a river? You ain't got to be a diver to help somebody.
No.
And what to do and how to then not get yourself in a muddle.
Yeah, and I think it gives you an appreciation of in diving terms, of your buddy and the people around you, and thinking about yourself as well.
Yeah. So if you're fairly new, what I would suggest is that you speak to your dive centre, speak to your instructor, and have a chat that you've heard about this rescue course.
Definitely.
Find out if they do it, and ask them, are you at a level now where it will make sense for you to do it? Because you don't probably be doing it after just a couple of dives, after just doing your open water, but after you've maybe done like 50 dives. As with any course, only do it when you feel you are ready. Absolutely.
It can be detrimental if you just try and bash through all the courses just for the sake of speed and getting the badge. But definitely do it at your speed.
Don't take our word for it. Do your own research, and have a look. But it is a very good course, and you do learn lots of good skills in it. So so that was that. And Stony last week.
You were a dive master.
Yeah, had another group of youngsters. I think the youngest was 13, I think.
Which is really good, because you've had two...
Tiny as well,
But you've had two sessions where you've had some real, teenagers, and that means young divers are coming in. And I have
to say, I've got absolutely no fear at all. And at times it is like trying to herd cats, let's put it that way, because they've just got absolutely no fear, and like as soon as they see a fish, gone, and you've got to have your eyes on you open the whole time, and check on where they are, because
and conditions weren't the
not
best,
good.
were they? The visibility
last
was
weekend. No, it was worse than what it was a few weeks ago, to be fair, because end of September I'd say the vis was 5 meters, and I'd say at most 3 metres last weekend.
So
Water temperature still pretty good, 14 degrees. There's a few people last weekend at Stony, considering today's the 20th of October, so it was a week ago, and the water temperature is still 14 degrees.
So still wetsuitish on the shelf.
I think there was people in wetsuit.
Yeah, it just depends what the conditions are like on the surface, really.
From what I heard, that off the shelf, the conditions were pretty murky. And I spoke to someone who went down the hydro box, and they said it was like there was no visibility at all.
No, we've had a lot of rain in the UK, and there's a lot of runoff into that lake, isn't there? And I think that's probably
it does
a lot to do with
things up. We are potentially going up in a week's time. Potentially, we say potentially because I want to get honey in the water again next week, because it's half-term week, and it is pretty murky, and we'll see how
what the
it
conditions
goes.
are like. Yeah, because don't want to undo the good that's done.
No. Well, all the diving she's done, that's been nice, clear. Really, like Spring Lakes was lovely and clear,
it was lovely,
10 metres viz.
It's
And
just like amazing.
she loved that. Chasing the fish, waving at the fish and all sorts of stuff. So to go to then somewhere where you only get 3 metres viz, I know it's all UK diving, but for youngsters,
you want to maintain the
really
fun
at
and
the start of their career, the last thing you want is that then scares the Bee Gees out of them, and they then don't want to get back in the water.
And you always remember your last dive for good and bad reasons, don't you? And
the youngsters last weekend were great. They one of the lads, we've just done his first dive, open water, and he turned around to me and went, "Are we going to get back in again?" I went, "Yeah." I said, "He got 2 more dives, yeah." And he said, I want to see the more fish. And it's like, that's really good.
To have that, enthusiasm.
Yeah, and especially when it's not the best of conditions, because if he's enjoying it now, how much more is he going to enjoy it when there's more visibility, warmer waters and things like that?
Yeah, well, it's just good youngsters are getting in the water.
And we need that.
Yeah, definitely need it.
And we talk about this with Ben and Gemma, don't we? And Sammy, about getting youngsters in the water, because for our love of our sport, long term, we need the youngsters coming in.
Yeah, to give it the. Yeah.
We need the number. Diving is very much a numbers game. To keep dive centres and keep the sport alive in the UK.
Yeah, so anything we can do to encourage the youngsters to get in the water. And again, it's diving. Yeah, it's a great sport, but it also brings in the fact of ocean conservation, doesn't it? And the appreciation of what we've got and to look after it.
Yeah. And then this week we went to the motorhome and caravan show on Wednesday at the NEC.
We did, and it was just amazing how busy it was, wasn't it? And
I thought I'd been to a saga holiday.
There was a certain level of age groups, wasn't there?
And I think I was the only guy there with no grey hair and hair.
Very. If you're listening to this and you're over the age of, we apologise.
I just looked around and it's just like, it's the Silver Club.
But we went last year and it was the same, wasn't it? This show runs it started on the Tuesday and it finishes today. So
grand as well, really, really
amazing.
Busy.
It was 12 hall. No, well, it was 22 hectares. I think I heard somebody, or 22 acres of places to walk. So there were motorhomes there. There were some caravans there. There were people
beautiful machines, weren't there?
Yeah, there were people that fit out the motorhomes.
Bikes. Nobody representing the diving or the water world.
No paddleboarding or anything like that this time. No. We did go last year, but I think this time we particularly noticed prices have gone up
a lot,
and there's much more of an adventure overland theme to some of the motorhomes.
Yeah, there was, and my thoughts about that. It was like this bit of a controversy about it, or sort of contradiction is probably the right word, where the companies are portraying this, all adventure caravan motorhome
To the retired.
to people who don't actually want to do it.
But it's all the aesthetics, isn't it?
Because they're the only ones who can afford it. £100,000, and one of them was like 240,000.
It was incredible
for a 4x4 motorhome
with a pop top. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's eye-opening. But yeah, we saw Cactus vans. They're a UK.
They were awesome. Yeah.
They do bespoke vans. They only produce 6 a year, so that was really interesting to chat to them.
Yeah.
Auto trails as well. They've got motorhomes that are more applicable to the diving community.
I thought so, and also more of a budget which most people could probably take on as a second car or second vehicle, where you're not then going, hang on a minute, this is the price of a house.
Yeah. So we're talking like 100 grand plus for some of these motorhomes, but the ones we were looking at were a little bit less. And
Auto Trail, look them up. They, if you're looking for a camper van, I think, and you're looking, these had like proper wet room garages at the back with drains. It's like, okay, someone's actually thought about this, that you can actually put wet stuff in, whether it's a bike, wet clothes, even dry suits, wetsuits.
Wetsuits, surfing, bods, that's perfect van.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we asked about a lot of the age group that we saw buy their motorhomes outright,
Cash.
But there are finance options as well, so it does make it accessible to.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, for the most of us, you're going to need that. But I didn't really get that you could have two motorhomes. One would be 120,000, and then the same motorhome with a 4x4 option would be 160,000. And you think, well, actually, the people who can afford to buy them are never going to take it off road.
No.
Never going to go more than down and park on a green grassy pitch, and it does the same job as the one for 120 or even 60 to 80,000.
Yeah,
I didn't really get why you then spend all that extra money, and I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but how many young people with families would want to go, hey, I've got 160 grand, I'll go buy that motorhome, or would you pay that off your mortgage?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how it develops over like next year when we go, or even in February, how the market's changed. But yeah, we've listened to various other people talk, and that is the consensus.
And when we spoke to one of the sales guys, we said, have you sold one? They went, no. They can sell more of a standard setup motorhome 6 or 7 times over one of them 4x4 ones, because it doesn't really work out. If you need great big steps to get into the thing because it's been jacked up so
we did
high,
wonder how some of the
the only people who can afford it have got dodgy hips, dodgy legs, dodgy feet, dodgy backs. And it was true. I'm just being honest.
Well, no, I mean, we did say, I said to a chap with a walking stick, how are you going to get in there?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, fine, yeah, because you're using the great big steps with the handrails that the people at the show have put in.
Yeah.
Imagine that in a field.
I know, it was, well...
That ain't going to work. And it's 4.5 tons.
Yeah.
With standard tyres on a 4x4.
Yeah. But as divers, we went there looking at them for the potential of being...
I am a caravanner. I've got a caravan for years. But I kind of just looked at it and thought, this don't work. This is not going to work.
Each to their own.
It's true, I know.
Yeah, so that was our visit to the NEC Motorhome and Caravan Show.
It was good, yeah.
It was good, yeah, definitely good.
And we follow Motorhome Matt, so shout out to him. Thanks for sharing our post this week.
Yeah, he has a podcast dedicated to motorhomes and caravans.
He do, so have a listen to him. If you haven't been, it's probably too late now for this year, but get going.
February.
For next one in February, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a look, see who's there, and maybe pop along to that one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, do your own research always. I always say that, and don't take our word from it. And there were some spectacular motorhomes there, weren't there? And caravans, and lovely.
Yeah, and if you're a motorhome user in a certain age, we apologise if we've offended you. We better just say that.
You said that, not me.
Anyway.
And if you want to write in and complain, write to I've got a motorhome.
We appreciate any comments and feedback.
And I've got hair.com. Right, let's move on. So we talked about that. So let's talk about Dive Talks. Dive Talks is going on this week.
Yes, I think that's an annual event, and it happens in Portugal. And a lot of our previous guests have been speaking. I saw this morning Phil Short was there, Joanna Wybreck, Lee Bishop,
Alfredo Martins, he's there.
Richard Cullen, who
Allard Marks, Christine Regent West, Gareth Locke.
Yeah, Human Factors.
Now, Gareth Locke is like the podcast master. We've never had him on, but he's done loads of podcasts and very documented, so and if you're interested in human factors, things like that, then he's the man to follow and listen to what he's got to say.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be information about Dive Talks, and look on social media, snippets.
Oh, Jill Hyneth.
Oh yes, yeah. So yeah,
you're friends with her, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay, Joanna Wybreck you mentioned. I can't pronounce his name. That one. Jose Ventura. That's a great name.
Sounds like a what do you call it? Superhero.
It does, doesn't it? My name's Jose Ventura. That is a great
Mr.
name.
Ventura. Yeah. Who else have we got?
Karen van den
Over.
Kurt Crack. There you go. Kurt Crack. Kurt Crock. He's.
Yeah, he did a talk about underwater habitats in the history. I saw that this morning.
Dan Europe representative Laura Maroney. Lee Bishop, there we go. There's Lee. Look at this great picture of Lee. So make sure you're following him. He talks a lot about wrecks because he's a big wreck diver. And Maria Bollerup loves the caves.
Ranva was going to be there.
Yes, she's there. Mark Powell.
So pretty amazing lineup of people.
Loads.
So, have a look at the website divingtalks.com.
Mr. Short, we mentioned him. Ranva, mentioned her. Ricardo. Oh, I tell you, I had a good chat this week with.
And
Patrick Widman. So I just dropped my phone. I just had a really good chat with Patrick Widman.
Yeah, he's a previous guest, and we've spoken to him at the Go Diving show, haven't we?
Yeah. If you're not following Patrick, make sure you are, especially if you're into cave diving, technical diving, and also if you are looking to maybe you've been diving a little while and you're thinking about stuff to learn and stuff to work on.
Does rebreather stuff as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah. And so I was quizzing him about a post that he shared, a reel on Instagram, where he's got no fins on, right?
Yeah.
And if you look, he is holding, you could virtually put a level on him, and that, I don't know, absolutely bang on level.
He is
buoyancy.
A master.
And I think, and I was wondering how he done that. And he's got no fins. You ever been in the water in a dry suit with no fins?
You don't go anywhere.
You don't go anywhere at all. And I thought, how are you doing that? And so I did pick his brains. So sorry, Patrick, for all the messages. He's probably thinking, when's he going to shut up?
Well, it's good to share knowledge.
But it was really good. And if you're not following him, and have a look at the reel where. And it's not particularly deep water. You can see the surface. I'd say probably maybe 10 metres of water. And he holds his buoyancy. And it's all breathing. It's all breathing work. And he was explaining about the fins that he use. You take them off because if you're working on your buoyancy, it's purely a exercise on working on your buoyancy. So I wouldn't recommend this to new divers and to start taking your fins off mid-water. We've talked about there's something for us to have a go at, where we'll be together and we can help each other. Because my fins, I've got force fin, accelerating fins, and they're 2 kilos each.
Yeah, it's incredible. I didn't realise they were that much.
You take 4 kilo off, that's going to affect your buoyancy. He uses dive rights fins, which are much lighter. But the point he is making is, if you've got your fins on, the slightest movement with your feet
will
upsettle your buoyancy, when it's actually a exercise to work on your buoyancy on breathing. So I thought, I like that.
Yeah, Patrick Widman is definitely one to follow on social media. He's always posting, does a lot of running and fitness as well, but in terms of diving and skills, very much a man to watch, and has a lot of good stuff to.
Yeah, he does. Always positive, and was very helpful, I have to say. So, giving us a bit of inspiration, something to work on.
Good day.
So that's Dive Talks, BZAC conference. So go to BZAC.
Yeah, I think we better get the guests on soon.
Yes,
don't we?
Talk about that. And so we met. Let's talk about Ben, Gemma, and Sammy. So we first met Ben and Sammy a couple of years ago when we first went to Ilfracombe to dive Lundy. We explained where Lundy is. It's a further trip out, so if you're used to play somewhere, if you've not been to Lundy but you're used to the Farns or St Abs, you do have to be prepared for a further ride out on a boat. It takes about an hour and a half.
Yeah, and it can be slightly longer if the weather's particularly, or the winds, if it's choppy. We
had a bit of chop.
Yeah, so the first couple of trips we did were okay, weren't they? And then we took Honey, and it was very bumpy.
I still don't know to this day how she was the only person who kept dry.
We got quite wet.
We were soaked.
So there was a lot of, it rained, but there was lots of sea
on the way
splash.
Home, fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah. It was choppy. It's the Bristol Channel.
Yeah. So if you are considering going on a dive trip to Lundy, you do have to be prepared that the conditions won't always be.
And you are out all day. You don't get home till if you go outside, if you load up onto the boat at 8 in the harbour,
you won't be back until
6, half 6, something like that.
Yeah, but the good thing to report is Ben has, or Lundy Diving, they have added bits to the boats to try and make them a bit more weatherproof and more comfy for the passengers.
Yeah, they have.
And I think they've put new benches in as well, haven't they? They've taken some vibration out with new exhausts and things. So.
And another thing I really like as well is that when you go to somewhere like the Farns, you're constantly moving. You are moving virtually the whole time, even on surface interval. They might cut the revs and what have you, and we drift around a little bit. But you're constantly moving. With Lundy, they're usually more up.
Yes, they either tie up to a mooring ball when you're diving, or they moor up against the slipway.
You're nicely moored up, and you basically just jump in at your ready. At your leisure. Which is quite nice.
Yeah, you'll find out when we do the interview. But Lundy Diving, they have it's family business, but they've pursued into the wild swimming, and they do swimming trips,
which has become really popular.
Yeah, and it's just really good, and you'll get that from the interviews, that they are an ever evolving family business, and they're looking to the future, and they've issued codes of conduct for people, so everybody knows how to react and behave with the seals. And it's just really encouraging.
Because some people do go too far. They start poking wildlife and things like that with their cameras and all sorts. So and so code of conduct, how to behave around seals by them, which is really cool. And there are some awesome things to see. And also I would recommend if you've not been on the island yet, is to do the trip to the island at least once, because then you'll get a good view of the whole island from that lighthouse,
and a real appreciation about its uniqueness but remoteness as well. It is basically you look out to the west and next stop is America.
So book up. Their spaces do get, especially for the wild swimming, get booked up really quick. You can book that online. And anyway, should we get them on?
Yes, so we chat to Ben, Gemma Bengi and Sam Davidson from Lundy Diving.
Yeah, let it go, Sammy.
It's that time in the podcast where we take you back to North Devon and catch up with RNLI coxswain Captain Ben Benji of the Barbara Bee Dive and Fishing Boat in Ilfracombe Harbour. Mind those ropes!
Hey!
Yo!
Hello!
All right,
How are we doing?
not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. It's
Yeah.
Friday. Woo!
Thank you.
What day?
Friday.
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 Hi, Sam.
I'm saying
Hiya.
that, working tomorrow as well. Evening, Sam.
Hi, you okay?
There he is.
Look at he's in
Yeah,
the
all
car.
good.
Look, that's cute.
Oh, well, that's great. You've all joined us. Thank you very much. So,
Welcome.
yeah. So, we were just saying, when was the last time that we spoke to you? It was
Maybe
before the
June,
season
I
started.
didn't start the season just before the start.
I don't care. That's a long
Yeah,
time ago.
it was before the
I've
start.
slept since then.
Yeah. So, because we've got obviously quite a lot of new listeners, we just thought it'd be a good idea if each of you introduce yourself. So just say your name and what you do. So is that all right? So I don't know who wants to go first.
After you, Benjamin.
Hello, I'm Ben Benji. I own a boat. I'm a half a Lundy diving. How do we work this now?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. So I've got one of the boats in the Lundy diving business. Operate swimming trips and diving trips to Lundy Island between May and end of October, and then in the winter months we are commercial fishermen.
Great. Okay, that's lovely. How about you, Gemma?
I'm Gemma, so I am Ben's sister, and I sort out all his bookings and organise all the boat's admin and stuff, and am occasionally found crewing on the boats at Lundy as well.
Excellent. Okay, and then over to you, Sam.
So I'm Sam. I work for Lundy Diving, similar like Ben, throughout the summer months doing swimming and dive trips, and then throughout the winter months, commercial fishing.
Excellent. Okay, well, it's great to have all three of you on. I think that's the first time, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So the Lundy Diving crew. So we have spoken to you in previous episodes, and we'll put the links to those in the show notes. But we just thought we'd catch up as it's nearing the end of the swim and dive season and see how your season's been.
I'm done. My season's over.
It's over.
How come?
Ben,
Cancelled.
Cancelled. It was meant to be my last trip tomorrow, but cancelled that because of the weather.
Oh no.
So that's me done. Benches are coming off. Mats are going out. Going on. The woke pots are going out.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm
diving
over, so-
season done in
Yeah.
Lundy.
Yeah, it's over.
Have just got one more booking next weekend, or the weekend after.
Weekend after two. No, next weekend.
I
Yeah,
need to
next
email
weekend.
them.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Season
Yeah.
is finished.
Been a
gone
good
like-
season?
Pardon?
Has it been a good season?
No.
Oh,
The
sorry.
first 2/3 were good.
Sorry. Booking wise, been brilliant.
yeah.
Weather-
Cancellation wise.
Yeah, cancellation wise, been atrocious.
Really?
It's been the worst weather year for a long time.
No.
Why?
We had in August, we only worked 19 days.
No way.
I worked more days in January.
Is
Yeah.
that because of these storms that we had come from the?
It's like last year. There's a lot of weather where it's just under our weather limit. Where this year it was just above the weather limit.
It's been so unsettled as well. It's just been all over the place. Like you haven't been able to predict it either because it's been so unsettled. It comes through so quickly.
Right.
There's been a lot of angry emails to the Met Office this summer.
No way.
And to this point, we don't use the Met Office anymore.
Because it doesn't make it, what their forecast doesn't make sense, does it? It
It lies.
changes.
The Ilfracombe forecast is like a 25 knot like difference between average wind speed to gusts.
Yeah.
So yeah, just given up using them. On windy now, it gives us all pretty colours.
Well, we've been out on your boat when there's been some big waves, and we know, you do take the waves on, and so for you not to go out, they must be some pretty big storms. And
we had most like when we took you guys out, like as soon as you get to the island, it's flat calm.
Yeah.
But this summer we had quite a bit of southerly wind, where you like on how the island's like shaped north south, you get no shelter within the island.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's waste of time because you're not going to get any swimming done. Just to leave like 8 hours sat on the island.
Yeah.
We want to give everyone a good day. At the end of the day, we want people to come back and enjoy their trip, and there's no point essentially ruining the day for them due to stuff that's out of our control.
So so say for people who live far away from Ilfracombe, so maybe they've got 3 or 4 hours of driving and a whole weekend of diving. How much notice are you able to give them before?
We'd like to do a minimum of 24 hours.
Is
the plan.
Yeah, normally when we're doing the weather, it's normally a week ahead that we're trying to work out when it's going to be going. Obviously, with divers, normally you can push a little bit more weather because they're a bit more used to the elements. Where with swimmers, a lot of people have never seen a boat before, or even been on the sea when they come swimming. So it's
really?
Yeah,
some of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you get a wide variety of different characters coming aboard. Again, from like
we'll get to the characters a bit later.
See, me and Sammy promised at the start of the season we'd write in the diary all the characters.
Yeah.
There's been a lot this year.
But we haven't written any down.
Have they been divers or swimmers or a mix?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Both.
But yeah, we try and give a minimum, like that's like really it's really messed up. That's 24 hours, but normally 40, 48 we like to give, because then this gives people enough time if they can
cancel accommodation.
And
not lose their money. But it's just been changing so quickly, isn't it? The weather forecast this year. But
with the swimmers, as an idea, could you probably wouldn't work? I don't know, just an idea. But if people were set on doing some outdoor swimming and they couldn't go out to sea, could you do like river swimming and something like that as a plan B?
Nearest river is 16 miles away.
16?
16, yeah.
The issue you have as well is because what we sell as Lundy is such an amazing place. Like there isn't really anywhere on the North Devon coastline that kind of compares.
No.
Because you've got obviously the lovely seals and the wildlife. It's so difficult and when you find it with a diving, there is dive sites that are on the North Devon coastline in the Bristol Channel, but they're not anything that compares to Lundy. No. And they're so kind of reliant on tides and weather. So it's almost, I guess what we want to do is give people the proper Lundy experience.
And that's the uniqueness of the whole experience, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So when you have got out, how's it been for diving and swimming?
It's been good.
It's been quite it's for weather-wise, start of the season was bloody fantastic.
I think we didn't cancel for about 2 months anything, and then it was August came and it was 2 weeks
it
gone.
Was July, wasn't it? It was when we done the when we had Peter out, wasn't it? Skips. After that, start of July, then it just went like this. Like we had a 4-day stay doing archaeological dives on 2 wrecks on the island.
Okay.
I went down the first 2 days, pushed the weather to get down there because once you get to the island, nice weather. Sammy was meant to take the boat on the Saturday. Friday night, I steamed home, flat calm, not any movement. It looked doable the next day. Woke up Saturday morning, there's 27 knots in the forecast.
Wow.
Just like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everyone like down on the quay being like, "Are we going?" And I'm like, "No, that's no."
The issue we get a lot of on like our coastline is because we get a lot of winds with south wind, like Ben said. When you look out the harbour, it does look glassy calm, even if it is blowing, because the wind's blowing off the hills. It doesn't have any sea with it. So you can kind of say if it does get to a point like that where you do have to cancel in the morning, they'll go to the top of the north wall of the harbour and look out, and it does look lovely and flat calm, and almost
it's
think you're crazy.
The day we took you guys down, it was southwest outside the harbour. It was lovely and flat calm. Once you get out past the lighthouse, it's
the first 4 miles would be alright.
There's a little bit of chop.
Yeah, only a little bit.
A bit fluffy in areas.
My daughter was the only one who kept dry on that boat, and I don't know how she managed.
That's changing next year.
Yeah, we there's been big alterations within the company this year.
Is there?
We've gone.
We've got to keep people drier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Above and beyond.
Well, your mate nearly lost his shorts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a sight. Yeah, but it's just good.
It's a change in the clientele. Like Gemma said, with the swimmers, a lot of them have never been on boats before, and only this year that we've started to see them almost dressing for the occasion.
Yeah.
And like you always say, bring everything and not need it is always better to not bring it and need it.
Yes, absolutely.
And in terms of things like that, like when they're wet and cold, especially if when you take them to the island, the tide's high when you get there, and you go, right, guys, it's time to go swimming, and then they all look at you as if you're crazy because they've got wet and cold on the way over. But yeah, it's all trying to keep the other clientele happy and dry. And
this episode is brought to you by Narked at 90, the cutting-edge pioneers in the world of diving equipment. Meet the founders, John Routley and Brent Hudson, who have logged thousands of mixed gas dives over the past 3 decades. About 20 years ago, these experienced technical divers combined their passion for diving and engineering skills to create Narked at 90. Whether you're new to diving and ready to take it up a notch, have a fair amount of experience, or are considering a transition into technical diving, we highly recommend Narked at 90. They're ready to advise on the best equipment and setup for your personal and commercial needs. Narked at 90 also has extensive hands-on experience with shearwater and ratio dive computers, being the longest-serving UK service centre for these brands. They're ready to offer technical support, servicing, repairs and upgrades for all shearwater and ratio computers past and present. In addition to shearwater and ratio, Narked at 90 stocks and supports many other brands such as DiveSoft, JJCCR, Hollis, Revo and Kiss rebreathers. The diving community is always enthusiastic about Narked at 90, and it's easy to see why. Here are just a few reasons. Full head servicing for rebreathers from various manufacturers, bespoke cable assemblies, advice on specific fitting requirements, suggestions and guidance for home builds, computer laser cutting and engraving, CNC milling and turning, pressure testing to simulate 400-metre dives. We're thrilled to partner with Narked at 90, a company that has ignited so much passion for diving and has been incredibly supportive and innovative in producing and selling dive equipment. Visit narkedat90.com to see why they're a renowned name in diving. Stay updated on their insights and offers by following them on social media. Just search for Narked at 90 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and hit that follow button. So diving wise, have the divers had a great experience underwater? Have they seen plenty of seals? And
we've had good viz as well.
Yeah, so I'd say we haven't had a lot of swell this summer. So most of the viz has been like probably 8 meters plus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
We had a good day middle of September where they reckon they had 15 meters on the west side, which was banging. And they've had very good
seal interaction's been really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been for that part. It's been good. Yeah.
It's odd why the seals over Lundy are so much more friendlier now than what they are at Farns. How they are at Lundy is how I remember them at Farns. At Farns now, they keep a distance. You don't get much interaction.
It's yeah,
Where
it's
very friendly.
like we've put in a code of conduct written by one of the ex-wardens on the island, because I do know that they're starting to get a lot tighter on interactions with seals.
Yeah.
So we're trying to stay on the
we put that in last year, didn't we?
yeah,
trying
to stay on the forward curve of what's going on, and try and be like a flagship company for people to look at.
Yeah.
But DEFRA is looking into it quite a lot at the moment.
What does that mean, though?
No, not a lot of people know. Boy, I'm guessing they'll be looking at limiting the interaction, or only having accredited companies that are allowed to interact, and having set times throughout the day. Like when we do our seal swims, it's all me and Gemma have got a fun job coming up in about like
we
3
really
months
enjoy
time
that day
of going through all the days and doing times, loading times, and then swimming times.
Okay.
It's a pretty intense afternoon. So we try and do all our swims on the high waters. So that's when the seals are in the water, because obviously when they're out of the water on the rocks, that's when they're getting vital heat into their body. It's also when they're digesting their food. They can't digest on the go like we can. So you want to leave them on the rocks as much as you can.
Yeah.
It might be stuff like that. We don't know. We're just trying. Majority of our people we take out are very good. They listen to us when we give our briefs, and they don't mess around with when they're interact. Of course, you get the few that ruin it for the rest.
I think we've been pretty good I think because we've been so like, they get sent the code of conduct as soon as they book on and told to read it. You guys go through it once they get on the boat with them. So I think they know that we mean business with it, sort of thing. Like if you're not going to abide by it and treat the seals nicely, then you're not coming again with us, sort of thing. So it's worked well. I'm really glad that we've put that work in and sorted it out.
Before this call, we just adding stuff to the code of conduct for next year.
Yeah,
just stuff that we've picked up throughout the summer. Some things that work, some things that don't work.
Turns out no matter how much you tell people what to do and what not to do, and what to pack and what not to pack, they do their own thing anyway, don't they?
They do. They're people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. That's good kind of progress, isn't it? About the sort of conservation of seals and making sure they're happy in their environment and giving people a good experience.
Yeah, they've been good this year, haven't they?
Yeah,
they've been really interactive. I think they enjoy it. And you see the boat pulls into the coves, and then they pop their little heads up and are like, "Oh."
Yeah. So Sam, you've been skippering more this year, is that right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, in trying to be, but obviously, like Ben said, with the weather, it's been a bit of a case of whenever I've had time to do that, we've had a bad spell of weather. As Ben says, whenever he gives me the boat, we end up cancelling.
You've done a few days skippering with me as crew.
Yeah, we've got
a few in.
I got quite a few days in, which is good. It's been good. It's been a good summer.
Are you getting time for a little snooze here and there, Sam?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's all right then.
Yeah. Still on form. So good.
Well, that's good. So what's the wildlife been sort of out on the steams out and back? Have you seen whales, dolphins?
Start of the season, we had dolphins and we had a few minkies.
Had a few sunfish this year.
Yeah,
wow. Quite a lot of sunfish.
Yeah, quite a few sunfish.
Dolphins
they get huge.
Pound for pound, the best fighting fish in UK waters, sunfish.
Really?
Yeah. You can't eat them, but yeah, pound for pound best fighting fish in UK waters. Monsters are back in like, well, Dad always told me, but I don't know how true
Could
it
be
was.
rubbish then.
Could this like when they used to come up in the trawls, they used to bring them in from sea, put them in a wheelbarrow and like cover them in seaweed, then walk them like up and down the harbour and let like people pay to look at them and call them monsters of the deep. Because obviously you didn't have phones, so you just explaining like this fish that's like a dustbin lid with a fin on top. Yeah, people pay to see it. How true that is, I do not know.
I'm surprised they're a fighter though, because they haven't really got much in the way of fins, have they?
They're
It's all
solid though.
muscle, yeah,
Yeah,
solid.
how they go, how they like, they're like tuna, aren't they? They're just like one kick and they're gone. As soon as you disturb them, they're gone.
Right.
Mm.
And then the next thing, like they're 100 meters away from the boat.
So how big have you seen them? How big are we talking?
2 meter wide.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's a big fish.
that's a big old fin on that as well.
Yeah.
I
And
remember,
that's all you're seeing from the boat is just the top of the fin.
Mm.
And in the water it kind of goes like that. So yeah, you kind of see something, and we've had it when we've seen them this year. You see something in the corner of your eye, or you think it's a carrier bag, so you go, "Oh, we'll pick it up out the water,"
That's not.
and you get a bit closer and go, "The carrier bag's moving," and then you start explaining to everyone what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. At least you've seen sort of some activity out on the water. Any tuna? Because I think when we spoke to you last, you'd seen tuna, hadn't you? Jumping.
They've been there, but they
I haven't seen any tuna. We've had quite a few like
Jellyfish.
tote jumping in front of the boat this year.
Yeah.
But for no one to see, literally, like you'd see a splash and then you see another splash and you go, "Oh, there's a tote." But you're not going to see them, like either that or like a small blue shark or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really seen
There
much
was that
tuna.
jellyfish that was like a string of pearls.
Mm.
Sammy?
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
I know, yeah, because that's not been at Lundy before, has it?
No,
No, not that anyone said about.
No, that was there this year. I can't remember what it's called.
a jellyfish that looked like a string of pearls.
It's like it's a string of
Yeah.
pearls. I don't think it's. I can't remember whether it's part of the jellyfish family or not. I'm sure someone will be able to correct us. But yeah, they kind of sit in the middle of water column a bit like jellyfish would.
Mm.
I remember seeing a photo of the Appledore Sub Aqua Club. They had some on the wreck of the Iona.
Really?
But they were like 6 foot long, like really long. Yeah,
Wow.
Ben's looking it up now.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, they were quite pretty.
And tope are a type of shark, aren't they?
Yeah, part of the shark family. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
so they can kind of be like 80, 90 pound in weight, if not bigger sometimes.
Wow.
But a lot of what you get and like the really good fighting fish are like 40, 35, 40, like nice fast fish. And they're protected as well, so they're not people they kind of catch and release.
Right.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. So
Oh, my phone might die.
you're going back into whelk fishing in the coming weeks?
Yeah,
Pots are ready. I'm ready.
Are the whelks ready? That's the
Probably
question.
not. No. We've got a busy few weeks really. Got a boat course next week after next, and then whelks. And then it'll be summer again.
Yeah. Time just
like that.
flies.
Yeah.
It's on your boat course.
Yachtmaster practical.
Okay. So what will that mean when you do that?
That means we can take boats up to 250 gross tons or 24 meters in length, 150 miles offshore.
Wow. That's good.
Because that's the ticket that when you do any survey work, that's what they like you having.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's from a safe. So I got the Yachtmaster Coastal Skipper at the moment. That's 20 miles from any safe haven. So Lundy's a safe haven. So you can go here to London. You can literally port hop the whole way around the country with a coastal skipper.
Yeah.
We spent 5 days in a damp room 2 weeks. How long ago was it?
yeah. Week ago.
Week ago, pulling our hair out
What, on a course? Or...
on a course.
Yeah.
5 days, 5 intense days of doing chart work and all that kind of jazz.
Mm.
In a moment, I might disappear because my phone doesn't seem to be charging, unfortunately.
Has he turned the engine on?
No, I told you, no, there we go. He's gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was quick.
it's gone. Yes, we spent 5 days doing that. But like I say, that's the qualification when you're do any survey work.
Yeah, well, that's good to kind of get the progression in as well, isn't it?
And like the good thing is where like before, like when Gemma's had to do courses, you have to go to Plymouth. Now we've got a C school locally, like in Ilfracombe. So it was 5 local skippers all like getting their qualification to the next one up.
Yeah, okay.
So which it's brilliant, really. Brilliant for the town as well, having that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my radio course there.
Yeah, it's just something good to have.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier.
Oh, hello.
Walk 10 minutes down the road.
So you'll be able to go further out to sea once you've done this.
Yeah, the boat can't. So the boat's only coded for 60 mile offshore.
Right.
But it means that I could jump on a bigger boat and do pastures to places. It's just something else that if like the swimming or the diving slows up or the fishing slows up, that you can just jump somewhere else and do another thing.
Yeah, and keep the income coming in, I guess. It's always, yeah. So how far are you along with your progress with the boat tickets, Gemma?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's there's just been a lot on our plates this summer with stuff, and I've realised that it's really hard to work full-time in another job and sort out all the stuff for Lundy diving and revise for a boating exam. Shocking, not enough hours in the world. But yeah, hopefully I'm hoping to get mine done next month. I've got a few dates that I need to book in with Carl, who's one of the skippers on the boat and is on the lifeboat and stuff, and he's been up and gone through chart work and stuff with me, and then Ben comes up and checks it and laughs at me normally. Last time I did it, he went, "You do need to wear your glasses, Gems, for this." I was about half a centimetre out and everything, and I was like, "Yeah, that's fair." Yeah, hopefully get that done and start slowing down a bit and be able to put more effort into it. But it's been good being out on the boat crewing and working with Ben and Sammy and Lee and stuff.
You said it's a lot more easy to understand when we're doing things.
Yeah. I'm much more a practical learner than a sit and read a book theory. So it's been good, and it's easier to learn a knot one a day, isn't it, with somebody than sit reading a book trying to figure it out. It's been really good. Definitely enjoying it and happy that I'm going in that direction a bit more.
Oh, that's good. And am I right in saying you've done scuba course? Have you been did you do a liverboard in the Maldives?
I did a liverboard last week in the Maldives. Were
you scuba diving? Wow.
It was good fun. It was the worst weather they have known in 10 years on that liverboard.
No way.
And they were cancelling our dives, and I was like, "Oh, it's just like being at home."
You're not a jinx with this weather, are you?
It feels like it, doesn't it? But yeah, the Maldives on a liverboard, that was pretty good. I can't moan about that week. It was nice to see some different stuff, and planning the next one now.
So have you done any scuba diving over at Lundy?
I went in once a couple of years ago. Yeah, Dad pushed me in just after. So we did our course together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Many years ago. But I go in nearly every week and just swim with them and just duck down. I don't have any dive kit here. Ben's just brought dive kit, actually.
I have a dry suit.
Wow.
I own a dry suit now.
Excellent. What'd you go for?
Whatever was on offer.
Whatever was on offer. Oceanic.
Okay, nice.
Brand new, never been worn, and the seals are rock solid.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've got to get some new seals put on it, and I might go diving next year. There's a small chance it might happen.
Yeah.
I do have all the kit now. I have it all.
Awesome.
Well, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. All the gear, no idea.
Yeah, but you've got all that on your doorstep. It's just like, even I guess
Yeah.
shore diving, if you could do that, couldn't you? So yeah.
More to fix stuff, isn't it?
It's more when things go wrong, that something's around the propeller. That's when I will be going in.
Clean the bottom of the boat.
Yeah, the sort of moorings out down the island and that. It's just future proofing. Because Lee, like the who does it all now, he said, like, in 10 years' time, this is all your job, Ben. So I better start learning now and not in 10 years' time going, oh dear,
Yeah.
pay attention to what's going on.
Oh well, that's good to hear. So yeah, so get you both in the water.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've dived together.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That's Sri Lanka we last dived together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how's your mum doing?
She's all right.
Yeah, she's done really well this year, to be honest. She's been in charge of meet and greet. And obviously that's something she's never done before. And she's done all right about it. She's quite happy because she's got mentioned in a couple reviews.
Yeah.
So was really happy with that. But yeah, she's doing well. She's enjoying. I think she enjoys all of us working together.
Yeah.
And keeping it all in the family and keeping Dad's memory going with it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, she's doing good. Thank you.
Good. And bookings for next year? Have you opened the books yet?
Books are open. We're out of weekends for July and August currently.
Wow.
But the other months we've got availability still. So yeah, it's going good. We just got to hope the weather sticks with it a bit more next year.
Yeah. So if people want to book on or have a look at dates available, they just go on the website.
Just go to the website and send me an email on there. Emails at the bottom of the website will give me a phone call. We can go through what availability we've got and what suits you, and get you. I think there's a lot of AGMs going on at the moment because a lot of BSAT groups are emailing, looking at dates and stuff. So I think they're all having their meetings, looking at what they can do next year.
Yeah, definitely call Gemma because I do not have the diary. I'm not in charge of that department.
Ben really loves it when I'm at Lundy and I've got no signal, or I'm on night shifts and my phone's off, because then all the phone calls go to him and he's like, oh.
I'd really love to help you, sir, but unfortunately, I'm not trusted with the diary. I deal with the boats.
I mean, I have a massive sense of relief when Dad's boat is lifted out at the end of season and you go whelking and I think, I've not double booked. It's over and everything's gone okay.
The boat can't go out.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, now we're online though. It's a lot better.
The online booking system's good for the swimming. Yeah, that's just for doing the refunds. It's easier. Yeah, that's been a lot easier. Dive-in bookings are still old school and back transfers and chatting to me via email, just because there's more to figure out, isn't there? Like what dive sites you want to do, what the qualifications are, sorting out fills and all of that sort of stuff. So that still goes the old-fashioned way of talking. But yeah, diary's definitely open for next year. So if anyone wants to get in with some bookings, we're available.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they will.
Have to give you a buzz about that, because so we can book up for next year with you.
Yeah, come and get nibbled by the seals.
Yes, yeah, because we did the farms and the seals were really quite boring. Well, they were just at a distance. They weren't, anywhere, eating your fins, nibbling your fins or anything like that.
I wonder why that is. That'd be interesting.
It used to be. It's changed since the COVID period, where where they're having that break, then broke the cycle. I don't know. I got no idea. But they used to be really like interactive with you, but now they keep well away. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Things happened somewhere.
Yeah.
So life on the island. Did you get to stay over on the island at all this year?
One day. Didn't go up because it was too fresh, and we stayed on the boat, and it was a lovely night actually. It was fresh during the day and it was flat calm during the evening. I went for a wee about 2 o'clock and it was just what birds were singing at 2 in the morning. I can't remember now.
The cuckoo?
No, no, it weren't oyster catchers. Guillemots. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was singing away, proper singing away.
Wow.
No, obviously no light pollution down the island, so just gazing at the stars, and then I went back to bed.
Yeah.
Have
And
you
I'll
been
probably
able to
give
see the
them a
northern
birthday present
lights?
for next year.
Pardon?
Have you been able to see those northern lights from
I haven't, because I normally go to bed quite early.
Quite simply.
Yeah, quite simply. Like if I'm not in bed by 10 o'clock, something's really gone wrong.
You do
It
get
has-
some good skies there. You get some awesome skies there.
Yeah, we
There's
have,
been some good pictures of it.
yeah. I just Facebook's done it for me. I've seen what I've needed to see. No, because we were doing
You're
when it
doing
was,
your course.
yeah, when it was, then we're doing our course. So brain was frazzled and definitely needed some rest hours of sleep. But yeah, no, all the pictures look nice.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like we've said over the summer when we've had some really like windy days about being in that lighthouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just think that just must be because so much weather has come in from the Atlantic, hasn't it? And just thinking, what is it like out there?
Yeah, it's an experience. It's all part of the Lundy experience.
Yeah, it's worth going to see that lighthouse actually, for anyone who's listening. And we had the view is amazing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
on
a really good
on a
view.
nice clear evening, hell of a sunset up there.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Take a pint or two from the pub and just sit up in the deck chairs.
And you can see the whole island as well, can't you?
Yeah.
You got bird's eye view.
Yeah, it's definitely a very special place, definitely.
So what's happened with the RNLI this year? What's been going on there?
That's a good question. What has been going on with the RLI?
Paddle boarders,
Paddle
paddle boarders,
yeah,
and paddle
really?
boarders.
Paddle boarders.
Oh dear.
I tell you what, we had a hell of a day one day. Me, Sammy, and a bloke called Dave Mannering, who's got a charter boat, goes to Lundy. We done how many shouts? We done 3 shouts in a just back after back after back. First one, it was southerly, so again looks flat calm off the shore. Paddleboarder was paddled out fishing. He was on his way to Port of Call. He was going. That was a life saved. Second one was a couple that had been cut off, not cut off, but like they rode out and they got caught by the wind. Got to the nearest rock, but couldn't get off the rocks. We got them, and then it was a mother and 2 kids down Lee Bay.
Wow.
Like 12 miles away. Yeah, we've had a fairly busy summer. In all honesty, I think we're up on both boats to like 70 shouts. It's been pretty full on this year.
Yeah.
When you've been to those paddleboarders, who's called you guys out? Has that been those people, or has that been members of the public who?
All sorts. So they call themselves in member of the public. Yeah, that's all sorts really. A lot of 3 words this year.
So
Snapchat.
that's working well.
One of them was Snapchat for a load of kids that are out on paddleboards getting taken out by the wind.
Really?
Yeah, their mates found them on Snap Maps, and but yeah, it's been fairly hectic summer. A lot of late night shouts this year. A lot of late night shouts, like not even late night, just where you get that. No, 10 to 11, 20 past 11, 10 to 12.
What is that then?
All sorts. What do we go for?
Yeah, the anchors. The 2 yachts of the anchors.
2 yachts of the anchors. Like few searches at that time of night. Cut-offs, or like people seeing. You get a lot of like low cloud coverage over the hills, and if people are walking like in the middle of the night and there's fishermen down the bottom, but they've got their head torches on, like shining up and about, people think it's like call for help. It's like call with good intentions. A few tow jobs, like towing yachts, towing trawlers. It's been a fairly wide range of different jobs this year.
Yeah, lots of variety then.
Yeah. Never know. Well, as soon as the page goes off, you never know what you're going to anyway.
So would you say you get like a couple shouts a week? Is it more?
Yeah. I don't actually know. I zone out of it mostly. And like you get to like July, and I don't have a clue what day it is. I can tell you what date it is, but I can't tell you what day it is. Yeah, a couple shouts. You go through stages, don't you? They call it quiet stage, quiet spell. Someone says the Q word, and suddenly the next thing you know,
Goes mad. Yeah.
turn off. Like when we were meeting you last time, and
You ran me, very out of breath.
Yeah, out of breath, saying sorry, I don't think I'm allowed to come because I got to go to sea now. And then you get a spell of like a week of just like every day, every night. We had something like 7 shouts in 4 days, and it wasn't like nice times of night either. It was like 1:30, 12:15, and then we got back in from a shout at 3:30, and the page went back off at 6:45.
All right.
That's like horrible lack of sleep, and there's quite a few people on holiday at that time as well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like if you hadn't gone on that boat that week, that was your time to go on the boat. So yeah, all this all sorts of
It's unpredictable, isn't it? It's just but the main thing is you're there. And so has Ilfracombe been quite busy with tourists this year?
We're busy in that 6 weeks.
Yeah,
like the actual summer
if
holiday.
you talk to any of the trades, I mean, there's a bit of a money crunch on them, and ain't there? So like everyone's been down this year on bookings. I mean, it's a lot more like Jem said. Like the 6 weeks has been the 6 weeks, but normally you'd like September would be quite good because you get the newlyweds and the nearly deads.
Yeah.
So that'd be like the seaside.
Newlyweds and the nearly dead.
Yeah,
it's like North Norfolk, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, that's September. So you get like the newlyweds come down for but like when the hotels used to be big down here, you used to get the buses come down on their week trips, and like
we just had a rubbish September weather, didn't we?
Yeah,
we were sort of hoping that September would be good and we'd be able to push it more, but it was just rain, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it's a shame because the weather puts a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Like I said, like last year's weather was just under the limit, and this year's weather's just been every day was just over the limit.
Yeah.
But we would just rather cancel than send people on a rubbish day.
Yeah. Well, if
we want people to come back and enjoy it and say, oh, yeah, you need to go to Lundy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's getting that repeat business and that word of mouth as well, isn't it? And that just keeps, everything, ticking over.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fingers crossed for next season. It'll be a bit more calm and
hopefully
dry.
Just to be nice.
It will be dry because what we want to do to my boat will mean it'll be a dry summer.
Yeah. So what do you mean? Are you going to put more of a canopy over the seating?
Yeah, we've done it on the Obsession. Last winter, we've done a lot of work on the Obsession. A lot of work that you wouldn't see or would not know about.
Yeah.
That made me and Lee very happy. And there's a few more little bits we've got to do this year, especially with the change in clientele. We've had to
make it a bit nicer.
It's a very nice charter boat, but it's just making it that extra bit nicer. So yeah, we put 2 sets of wings out over the side, and there's awning down the sides. And that was a company in Exeter that made the covers, and they're
really good.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. Even if it's not wet, the amount of wind you're taking down the side of the boat just takes the chill off people.
Yeah.
And it makes it like how I want to do it on my boat will make my boat drier than the Obsession. So it would just be so nice. Because if we get any west, if it's northwest or southwest, my boat's wet.
Yeah,
can confirm.
And it will just make it that little bit nicer. I've been emailing them this afternoon. And as well, where the sail company is, there's a lovely farm shop opposite.
Yeah, Darts Farm, really
Darts
nice.
Farm, very nice place.
An expensive trip down there to buy stuff and then go and do some farm shopping as well.
But it's trying to keep. It's like on the Obsession. It's near enough like a straight pipe exhaust, and I've got silencers on my boat, and I said it to my old man before asked saying that you need to silence it. She's like, no, it's lovely.
You bought them now, haven't you?
Yeah, Paul, yeah. And I was saying it to Lee at the start of the season, and Lee came back because he didn't like admitting that I was right. We're walking on the quay, and he went, yeah, I agree with what you've said. And it just makes it a little bit nicer for the punters on board, so they can actually hear what they're hearing. I mean, we've done a lot. We've taken there's a lot of vibration out of the boat now. There's a lot of money spent in the boatyard this but it needed the stuff that needed to be done. Because where before Dad was more just playing at it, it wasn't doing it as a full-time job, he was doing it as a full-time hobby.
Exactly.
Where now it's a thriving business.
Yes,
throw a lot more money at it to evolve with the times.
Like, we've learnt a lot.
Like 16, 17 years ago when the boat was built, it was top of the range. But now you need to move forward and change. Oh yeah, we've learned a lot this summer.
We've learnt a lot. We've done lots of stuff.
A lot.
And it's looking after the boat, isn't it, and making sure that it's fit for purpose.
We're in a strange new world now.
We've been learning about influencers this summer. That's what we've been doing, is learning about putting them on the boat to advertise the trips and all of that, which has been,
and social media.
On
because most of our divers
they're repeat
middle-aged people, would say, and they're very good with Facebook. And Facebook's got a good follower, and we're happy with that. And me and Jem have been trying to build the Instagram followers
and TikTok
followers. And we've done TikTok's done quite well, because a lot of the people, the influencers that we've been speaking to have come out are TikTok personalities. Trying to explain to our mother what an influencer is, and
or Lee or any of the old boys, they're just like, I don't get it.
Trying to explain how an influencer works and how you've got it was really good. The first company we did it with
Rewild Swimwear, who make swimwear out of recycled material and put so much of it back into marine conservation. And they have a range called Lundy, which has got puffins on it, and then they had another range with seals on it, so they wanted to get some pictures of them in the water in the seal swimsuits with the seals. It makes sense. And they've been really good.
The two ladies they brought out,
Kaylee Oceanic and Polly Fryer, and
they were really good, really nice to us, and we just picked their brains for a good
all day.
But that's good, because I remember seeing the reels and what they posted, and it is amazing the reach that it then gets.
A whole new different thing, isn't it? Like page go into a magazine, and I think those days aren't as with the divers they are, but not with the swimming trips as such. So it's been good. We've learnt a lot, and we added
hell of a lot.
We added a marine biologist on board as well for some trips this summer.
And
had her come on and do a little bit more teaching about
I forgot about that.
about the seals and Lundy and the environment. I think that's something definitely we'll put on again next year. It's not for everybody, but I think the people that did it really enjoyed that extra level of learning of what was out there and why Lundy's so important as the conservation zone. So it's been good. We've learned a lot.
We've learned. This year's been a very, for the social media side, and
I'm very glad that the season's over and I don't have to think of any more posts.
It's a full-time job doing all that.
It stops.
So I'm allowed to use social for stories, and if I ever see a certain thing, which I'm not going to name, I'm allowed to do whatever I want on social media. Me and Sammy have been promised we're allowed to do whatever we want. We can post stories, videos, we're allowed to do whatever we want. But we've got to see this one thing before that thing happens.
I did get excited for you a couple of months ago, and I texted you and said, they're over at Swansea. And I sent him a TikTok, and I was like, look, there's orcas over at Swansea, Ben. And a couple hours later, he gets back to me and he's like, in New Zealand, Jen. Wow. I was like, okay.
One day it will happen. They're out there.
They're out there. I'm gagging for it. I'm absolutely gagging for it.
Loads of stuff you just don't see, isn't there?
Yeah.
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 I mean, last time Sammy done social media, he took our profile,
Boy.
took the profile picture off everything, changed it to something else. And
Yeah.
he's my technology
younger.
geek. I just give my phone to him now and say, Sammy, you're gonna have to do it, boy. I don't know.
Yeah. I enjoyed that he didn't want to tell me what he had done though. He was too scared to tell me.
So
But,
I just put it in our Lundy diving group chat and said, does someone want to admit what they've done here, mate?
Dear.
bless him.
Oh well, it sounds like it's been very successful, and yeah, that's
There's been a lot of small wins this year for striving forward, and we Gem's had quite a lot of phone calls with people who have seen our social media and want to know how we're doing it and how.
There's some good boat companies around that we've followed as well, aren't there?
Yeah, we want to know how like influencers work. So it's good. So people are seeing our social media and wanting to strive to be.
Yeah, and that's good, isn't it? Because where we dive in the Farne Islands, boats are just diminishing, aren't they?
Yeah.
We've seen skippers leave or diversify into other things, whereas like you guys, you're young and you're thinking for the future. And
You're young.
and if other boats are seeing that, they know there's a potential future. But
yeah, there's definitely
moving forward.
Company.
It's moving. I went to a fisheries meeting 3 weeks ago in Poole, and they were talking about diversifying and fishing and like why you can't because it's banned to everything. And I said, well, I've gone the other way. I said, I used to love fishing, but I said I've diverse to something else.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, right, okay. And then like the other, there's no reason why in 10 years' time that the business can just, because we're both severely dyslexic, things can change very quick between us. So like there's no, other people might look at it and go, why are they doing that? But in our heads, it's absolutely fine. So
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to us.
Yeah, but that's the good thing because it's all these different levels of thinking, and it comes into.
I always put it past Mother to see if she.
Yeah, we let her think she's got some say.
Yeah. We always ask her, and then I have to explain what's going on.
Yeah, she's got no idea, bless her.
Well, it's good she's getting out there, meeting and greeting people as well, and seeing the business.
Yeah, and she's got hoodies.
She's got hoodies.
She sells the hoodies.
Yeah.
That's her little job. She'll be down waiting at the pier with her bag of hoodie if you've ordered one. So yeah, she's doing all right, bless her.
Oh, well, it's been good to catch up, and hopefully you'll have a good fishing season.
What about go diving? Are you going to go diving next year?
I think I'm on holiday.
You are.
I'm in the Philippines.
We looked at going, and from the cost of actually going to what
we think you want about going up, and just being there rather than having a stall.
Yeah,
just going up and meeting people and stuff.
We're trying to get a feel for where the industry's going at the minute.
The thing is, we've got some dive shops and companies that can sell out the weekend 5 times over. They've got no problem selling out their Lundy trips. Then we've got other companies that are really struggling to fill the places, and at the dive show, we've probably got the majority of those shops and businesses come with us anyway.
Yeah.
And because we don't sell single spaces for the diving, we would be directing to those shops anyway, which is what we already do. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. But I think you might just go up and mingle. And
it's good to have you both seen, but as a business, as a gain, there's a lot to be done, as you said earlier, on social media. You can gain, and
we really
that money to something else.
Yeah, we really think right now it's the influencers that are gonna be
push it
be
further.
the ones pushing. Hopefully next year, touch wood. Hopefully next year, we'll have someone quite big coming out on the boat.
Ben's very excited about this because she's very good looking, and all the crew want to work that day. Is essentially the problem.
But yeah, hopefully, and then hopefully that'll then open us into a
different realm again.
new world of people.
I think you're going down the right way because so everybody's on social media, like you say, magazine articles. Everything's more digital now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the youngsters that we take out, we took, when did I last go swimming? Week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they were saying that they booked on because they seen one of the influencers we took out, and for the day she had, and they wanted to come.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not the world of like last year was all the world of we seen you on David Attenborough, and this year all I'm hearing is we seen you take Oceanic Kalia, we seen you take the geography teacher.
Paddy have got their influence as well, haven't they? And one of them went out as well. They've got like their geodiving, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And they went out of like the local Paddy school here. So it's all interesting, isn't it? I'm sure you guys are learning all about it as well with your podcast, trying to get it further out and all that. You're very good at your tagging.
That's Gemma.
Yeah, but that's the way you reach, and it's like we're at the motorhome show Wednesday, and sort of tagging people in, and then they share, and it's all mutual. It's two-way, which is good.
Building the empire, so to speak.
Exactly. So go social media.
LinkedIn. That's a good thing to get into as well. Loads, because
I thought that was more professional.
Honestly, I tell you, LinkedIn, because all these we are followed by loads of marine scientists.
Okay.
Honestly, LinkedIn, because all the companies are on LinkedIn. A lot of divers are all on LinkedIn.
I'll be setting that up tonight then. Thanks, Ian.
You should. No, honestly, I'm going
to go and watch the rugby, so that's fine. You crack on.
And the good thing is once you, the good thing about there's two things we found that's really good about LinkedIn is that you can, rather than Facebook and Instagram, you can actually get hold of people by getting to know their companies and then what they do as a job. And then you can actually speak to those people because hopefully you connect. You can then speak to them directly, and it's all relevant because it's part of their job role and stuff.
Yeah.
Without having to find out telephone numbers, emails, and stuff like that.
It takes out the legwork.
Once you are connected, LinkedIn then sends you more people who are in similar roles. So these people think, oh, well, I know those people. They're part of the BBC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you get more people come along who are more photographers and more marine biologists and stuff. I tell you, it's a real good one and you can soon build it all up as well.
Yeah. Well, when the podcast should be out Monday, so we'll obviously do LinkedIn posts, but hopefully that will we'll have to sort of tack it around to hopefully generate some sort of marine biologist type people and
thank you in.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
we've got a few marine biologists, haven't we, that come out?
Yeah,
couple, lots of photographers.
Yeah, they're all on LinkedIn.
They love the seal pictures, don't they?
Can't beat them. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, no, that's been really good to catch up and sort of follow your success as well, because it's been a good couple of years, 2-3 years now. Yeah, we've
keep doing what you're doing and building. It's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep going.
Yeah, we've got this.
Yeah, you have. And we look forward to seeing you next summer, hopefully, for some diving out there. And we even know, I think our local dive centre, they're considering sort of coming out your way as well. So,
Yeah.
so
that's
either
good.
for next year or the year after. So it's great to see people putting new destinations on their, dive shop list.
Yeah, no, it's really. We've had a couple new shops this year, haven't we? Which has
Yeah.
been good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's Londoners seem to like it.
Nice easy drive, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hey,
It's not nice easy drive, but it's nice easy drive for them. M4, M5.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you can't go wrong, can you? bottom of the UK.
Just keep going to
Exactly.
the
No, Cornwall's below us. Don't go there.
No.
That's like another
They-
world. Another
They
country.
eat their scones all upside down.
It's different in Devon, is it?
Yeah.
It's different,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing between
Yeah.
Devon and Cornwall is how you eat your scone.
Okay.
We're not even
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
We wish we were.
Yeah, we're cream first and they're jam first.
So you put the cream, then the jam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
cream is the butter.
exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they put the jam first because they're a bit strange.
Do you
Yeah.
still put butter on your scone though before the cream?
No, not with
No.
clotted cream. That's
No, that's sacrilege.
Do you need butter if you've got clotted cream?
I wouldn't. No, that's enough fat, isn't it? So you just do scone, clotted cream, jam.
I do like a bit of fresh scone and is it scone or scone?
Gone.
Scone.
Scone.
Gone.
You sure?
Same for you
It's not
northerners.
scone.
Yeah, that's a northern lingo, mate.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
above Bristol, aren't you?
Yeah.
In the
way,
north.
Yeah, you're way up north.
I think in Bungay we call scones.
Oh, the east of England's another.
All different.
And on that note,
Right. Well,
Yeah,
thank you very
absolutely.
much for joining us, and so thank you to Sam. And I know his
Yeah.
battery died, but it was good to see him at the beginning. And
His
Yeah.
phone's very dead.
It's not even text us.
yeah, so we'll put all the links in the show notes, and then we'll get you up on social media. But it should be out Monday. So
Great.
if you've got any pictures you could send over of face shots of you three, that would be good.
Oh yes, yes.
I don't think there's any of us three.
I got pictures of you, love. Thank you.
No, don't use any of the ones Ben sends you because I know what he's going to send you already. And it's not
before you go,
terrible.
we said to our listeners that we were going to ask you for any characters or funny stories. Is there anyone, without mentioning names, any funny stories that kind of?
So this was a first.
Yeah.
First, we had a bloke turn up without a BCD.
Without a BCD, how was he going to dive then?
I don't know.
Did he have a tank?
Yeah, he had all the rest of the
Yeah.
gear. Just no BCD.
Well, did he forget it?
I don't actually know. I was zoned, so I got him. So obviously now I'm a diver, professional diver. I have BCDs. So I got the one I have, but he was a bit of a
Wasn't going to fit him.
Yeah, it wasn't
Snug
going
fit.
to fit him. So he got a bit angry about that.
No way.
I said, well, it's not my issue, mate. I said, you're the one that forgot it. And then gave him another one, which I don't know where this one came from. And it had no tank strap on it.
Right.
So we had to improvise and adapt and overcome.
Great.
We got him in the water.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing, yeah.
And he got back, I hope.
Yeah, he got back as well, yeah. But other than that, we've had quite didn't really have too many, but we've had a lot of young divers this year.
Yeah, which has been really nice.
really
That's good.
A lot of
Yeah.
like 15. Oh, no, what's the youngest?
That was that little girl with Scuba
Yeah.
Blue that like the seals were bigger than her.
Wow.
I had
She
a
was
proper young kid in the dry
miniature.
I want to say like 14, 15.
That's good.
Yeah. I think
Good.
me and Sammy had 11.
Yeah,
They were
dive
11 year old.
better than the adults,
They've got no fear, have they?
and they
kids?
listen. They listen.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's been really nice. No, other than that, no, we haven't really. They've all been very well behaved this year.
Swimmers as well, well behaved gang of people.
Oh, they just normally throw up on the deck and don't tell you.
No.
No.
Yeah, yeah. The last trip we had, it was flat calm going over, and Sammy's gone out to go to the toilet, and he said, like, looked at the floor and gone,
There's
what's
carrots.
that? And she just went, oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Well,
People don't like to go to the side of the boat to throw up for
Yeah.
some reason. They prefer to like go into the toilet, which is
Oh no, she threw up
small
twice.
and-
Yeah, she threw up twice actually. She threw up on the side of the boat. And I seen her do it, but she didn't tell me there was any sick on the side of the boat. So then when we gone to pull away from the island, I looked outside and it's just like Chunk City. I'm this like
Carrots, peas, sweet
yeah,
corn.
no, it's pan pieces, it's a bit crumbly, a bit flaky in places. I like to
Maybe
guess.
you're saving it for later.
I like to guess what they've thrown up.
Oh, nice.
Why is there always carrots and peas?
Where
Where do they come from?
I don't know. It's just what it is, ain't it? It's just at least you're getting stuff in the nose this time. You know, always positives to be found.
Yeah. Well, they've all been quite good, haven't they?
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I think again with what we've changed
We
to the boats has made it a lot better
Right.
for the people. So like the not getting as wet and everything. It's made so they're not as cold, so they're not all in that state of shock. And so
Yeah.
they've been very. Other than that bloke, I haven't really had any characters. Me and Sammy said at the start of the season, we're like, right, here we go. Here's the page. This is the page.
Here we go.
Lots of advanced snorkeling going on.
Yeah, lots of advanced snorkeling going on.
Feet popping up. I saw that quite a few times.
Yeah. The issue is because you're in the shallows, you're in 3 meters of water, and you breathe in. Suddenly, you're on the surface.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah. Other than that, it's been a fairly tame year.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh well, here's to next year.
Yes.
Fingers crossed we get more stories for you.
Yeah. No, that's all sounds good. So we hope, your fishing season goes well and
Thank you.
weather's kind to you and
The whelks behave themselves.
crawl along the bottom and everything.
Yeah. I've got my head for February now when the boat goes to the yard. That's the next mission.
Yeah.
So
Always a job.
Always a job.
Always a job to do. Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, we'll wish you a very good weekend, and
thank you very much.
the weather's good, and we'll look forward to getting the podcast out in a few days' time.
Perfect.
Lovely.
And I'll send you some pictures, not the ones Ben sends you.
Don't forget LinkedIn.
I will not forget LinkedIn. I'll do that straight away, Ian.
Great. All right then.
Cool.
Lovely.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
See you later.
soon.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Hey, well, we'll say thank you very much for Ben, Gemma, and Sammy for coming on. Shame we lost Sammy. He's Sammy. You need to charge your phone.
Yeah, but at least he made it, and
He did.
Yeah, so it sounds like they've had an amazing season, despite the weather. Despite the weather, there's been lots of progress, and So, and it's good that it's such a, it's a thriving business now for them.
Interesting what you're saying about the weather. I suppose when you listen to the forecast and how turmoil has been, it's these sudden storms. Wasn't it a few weeks ago we got like the aftermath of one of the hurricanes that America had?
Yeah.
And you think America's so far away, but actually in the whole realms of storms and stuff, it don't take long for that to blow across.
No. And Ben's right, the weather forecast, they haven't been spot on through the summer at all.
No. And this year, if you think back to the early part of the year, like even our side of the country, it was wet all the way through till what, June?
Yeah, it was a slow.
Was it right up to June?
The summer was very slow to start, but then we had that little window of a month, maybe, of hot weather. We're on the beach, but
we haven't dived on our coast much this year. We
No,
had a very short window.
no.
Looking on angling divers these last week or so, I think most people think that's kind of it. I think there was a group that were trying to get in, I think either today or yesterday. So it'd be interesting to hear what the feedback is on that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the wind that, really.
But what can you do? It's out of our hands.
It is. Yeah, just got to adapt. and make the most of adapt.
Yeah, and
yeah, so we hopefully will catch up with Ben, Gemma, and Sam before they start the diving season. Hopefully,
yeah, I'd say probably end of Feb, maybe March time, maybe after the go dive time.
Yeah. So yeah, it was all good stuff to catch up with.
Yeah, it's good to hear that there's lots of new sort of kids getting in the water, which is good.
And very interesting about the social media influencers as well, how it is very successful and it works. And, again, we can see it in other companies, not necessarily boat companies, but just companies connected to the watery world using influencers is very beneficial.
It is.
Yeah. So if you're looking for anybody, the big Scuba are here.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Well, my thoughts entirely. Absolutely. We should also mention what's going on this weekend is that, a few things. You've got the BZAC conference going on this weekend.
That will have,
just. So, yes, it would have gone. So look back, because I'm sure there'll be stuff on their social media. Also look back at the dive talks that's going on over this weekend. Many of our previous guests are actually speaking. So Joanna Wybrook, Lee Bishop,
Phil Short,
and many more. So who are speaking as well. So they're on. And also we should say a big congratulations to our local dive centre, Crystal Sea Scuba. So a big well done to Polly and Chris for 20 years.
Yes.
Paddy Dive Centre.
Yeah, so they had a visit from one of the representatives and got a couple of awards. So that's really good. And again, it's a thriving business, isn't it? And even like yourself on Dive Master duty the last weekend and the weekend before, you've had youngsters, you've had real, school children getting in the water, giving you lots of
giving me grey hairs. You're
loving it.
Yes, they are. The thing is with youngsters, Honey's 14, and when you get a group of little ones in the water, I think you are naturally more protective of them, because adults do have a sense of fear, and that can go against them as it can go for an adult. Where children, they're just so excited, so just want to get in the water, they want to just dive. One of the lads, he was 4 foot something, tiny, right? Is 13, and it was not the best conditions at Stony. Really cloudy, and it was cold. And he got out of that water and he said, "Are we going to be getting in again?" And I said, "Yes." And his face lit up. He said, "I want to see more fish." And it's like, it's amazing that you get that excitement.
Enthusiasm.
And you want to keep them safe because they don't have any fear and they don't see that there's a risk of going over the shelf from 6 meters and it's suddenly going to drop down. They've got no fear of that at all. And so you're trying to keep an eye on them and everything else, and still harbor that enthusiasm about diving.
Yeah, it's tricky balance, but it's really encouraging seeing so many youngsters get diving. And, we haven't got the best of conditions always this time of year. It gets chilly, the water's colder, visibility is not always good, but they're doing it. And, that's all credit to the dive shops and dive centres as well to get these people interested and keen to get in the water.
You can dive in the UK, you can dive anywhere.
So all a success story.
It is. Yep. So thanks to Gemma, Ben, and Sam, and we should say a big thank you to our lovely sponsors who help bring these podcast episodes all together. They are Narc.90 and they are Beyond Technical.
Yeah, so thanks to Narked at 90. You can look them up at www.narkedat90.com, and they have got lots of equipment for recreational technical divers, and they are a source of amazing advice if you're looking for new gear or advice in your rebreather setups. So give them a call and you will get the best customer service.
They stock UK stock of shear waters and ratios. And if you're looking for a new dive computer, go speak to them.
Yeah.
Narkedat90.com or give them a call.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So I think that was episode 189. Wow. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we have spoken to Ben, Gemma and Sam in previous episodes. So you can always go to our website and just put in the search bar Lundy, and you will be able to click on the episodes where we've spoken to them previously.
Yeah, absolutely. Do that. And don't forget, you can get in contact with us by email, social media, however you want to do it, via our website, directly to us, or we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. No, not Twitter. X.
Yeah.
As it's called now, and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So
and if we're at a dive site, we'll always be flying the flag high, the big Scuba flag. So come and say hello.
Yeah, always good. Always good. So that was the Big Scuba. Thank you very much for listening. We will speak to you next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading, and see you soon.
Now that does wrap up today's episode of the Big Scuba podcast. But if you want to hear more from the podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button depending on what platform you are listening on. That way you will never miss an episode from us. But if you are listening on Apple Podcasts and did enjoy what you heard today, we would really appreciate it if you head to the show page to leave a 5-star rating and review. It really does help us. If you do, please take a screenshot of that review and send it to us on Instagram, and we'll give you a shout out to say a big thank you. If you have any questions for us or anything that has been mentioned in today's episode, be sure to reach out to us on any of our social media platforms or send us an email. The links are in the show notes. We will get back to you no matter what. If you have made it to this point in the episode, we both want to say a big thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.